Universe, I got a problem. So when we started the show earlier, when my lovely guest here couldn't hear us, I gave a banger, man, a banger of an intro. Like it was a banger. Like it's that track that that you drop it, and then 2 months later it's on the Grammy nominated, playing on every radio in the
Yeah,
US, kind of banger. And then it comes
yeah,
to South Africa, and then it's banging in the club, it's banging in the Uber taxi, it's banging everywhere.
yeah.
I dropped the biggest heat when it came to the intro. And then what happened? Microsoft. Actually, I have a theory, Musa. I have a
Hmm.
theory. I
What's your
believe.
theory?
I believe this computer. So we know our phones and computers listen to us. We know this. It's
Mm-hmm.
old news. My theory is that my and was not Android. My Windows computer
Yep.
operating system Asus computer heard me talking about Apple. Now remember, machines don't
Like,
don't necessarily know English. They have an algorithm, whatever. So they probably picked
yes.
up Apple, Apple, Apple. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yo, he's thinking of converting to Apple. We gotta shut this down right now.
Shut it down
Shut it down.
now. Right now.
Just like that. But sorry, once again, welcome to the show. Thank you for entertaining
Thank
us in our
you.
technical difficulties. How are you this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm actually spirited. There's something that I said to, was it last week's guest? I think it was 2 guests ago. 2 guests ago.
Hmm.
I said to Faye that there's something about when you go live that kind of changes everything. Because to be honest, inside of me, as much as I was energetic, happy, I felt a little bit sad. I felt a little bit like, oh wow, I can't believe this is happening. But the moment we went live for real, like it just went. I don't know what it is, but it's a blessing and a curse. But
That's good.
absolutely, and
Good that you feel spirited, spiritful.
absolutely for the every episode we have to go a level higher. So I have to make sure that I'm at the
Yeah.
best I possibly can be. So tell me something.
I. Oh, here we go.
30 years, 30 years,
Here we
season
go.
of despair, almost
Oh
touching
God.
it. In fact, probably if you smelled your hands, you hallucinated and thought, I remember what it smells like. I remember what it tastes like. I remember what a
Hmm.
Premier League trophy is. And then this guy, this mother Gutenhagen, came up
Uh-huh.
here in England, messed up everything for the rest of us. Life was good, man. Arsenal was suffering. The shiny Man City, Cheese Boy kids came through,
Yeah.
but they were there for now, kind of in, kind of out. And Liverpool were
Mm,
always there, but
mm,
they weren't really there. Now it
yeah.
pains me to ask this. I got two
Yeah.
questions. The first one, and because I'm unbiased, and I have to be, the first question I have to
Yeah.
ask is, how does it feel to be a winner?
Uh, well, for me, I didn't go through the struggle like everyone else went through.
Mm,
So people always like, I wasn't there the 30 years of struggle.
yeah,
So like other people are like, nah, you just joined in when like, you're what do you call those people? You're a hype person. Like you just join in
yeah. I
when
call them
team is
Cristiano
doing good.
fans.
See, I didn't know. Like I was just like, okay, I'm gonna support these guys.
Mm.
Okay. And it just so happened that they were peaking. Now we may go through another 30 years, but it felt good, like being able to tease you, Man United people, because y'all's egos are just, it's on another level.
Man, I remember a time when we had a number seven
Mm.
with real ability. We didn't chase the money, and every time we played Liverpool, we got red cards, but we still won the league. And now we're here in a time where we've got Donald Trump in America giving us the best ever presidency ever given. We've got 2020 running here with COVID, running wild, streaking on the streets, nudity, penis and vagina, just running around, doing this thing in every country. And then we have Liverpool, who have just here giving us extra, extra amazing, extra phenomenal, extra European. Well, not this year, but extra English.
Last
Oh,
year as
last year.
well.
Last year. I gotta say, the best thing I've seen this decade or the last decade, the best
Mm.
piece of football I saw last decade was Alexander Trent's assist against Barcelona with Origi
Yeah,
scoring. Phenomenal,
yeah.
phenomenal.
Origi, yo, I don't think any of us would forget that moment, like when he was at the corner. Like, because we couldn't see it coming. We're like, oh, it's Origi. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You think Salah or Mane, one of the guys is going to come through to save the day. And just to see, yeah, I won't forget that goal.
man. You know
I
what?
won't forget.
I have to be honest. That was the moment. One, I thought Liverpool were going to win the Champions League. Two, that is the time I gave my true respect to Liverpool, and I just said, hands down, I can't say anything because to be honest, that
Yeah.
doesn't just happen by luck. True, maybe it was in the moment, but it's rigorous training, rigorous thinking, different types of
Yeah.
things. It comes from an evolution of football. These guys have it stamped in their head: be creative, be disciplined, push harder, do all these things. A whole season or seasons worth of ethic and work and discipline
Mm.
adds up to those type of moments. And for me, it was one of those things where it was like, I gotta give it up to Klopp. I've got to give up to Liverpool players. I'm not a fan of
Mm.
Liverpool fans, but I think
What's wrong with us?
no, it's a,
Do we sing
it's
too
a
loud?
no.
Do we sing the songs too loud? Are you irritated? You know what the best is? When you're watching a game, right? And the people next to you, Man United, Chelsea, and they're singing along with you. Like, and they catch themselves and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, but our songs are just too catchy. Like,
You never walk alone. Zach.
you never walk alone.
So this is intriguing for me. So now we're talking about Women's Month as well. So coming into
Mhm.
football, if I can ask, what got you into football? Was it just like a moment?
You know, no, you know what happened? Um, so I'd always watched with my dad, but
Mm,
like I watched the local stuff,
yeah.
but I didn't like I wasn't like memorizing people's names and things like that. So even like from like the age of 5, I'll just be watching with him. Like I just genuinely enjoyed the sport. And then what happened? Like I obviously dated guys who watched football. I think one was in Arsenal. No, actually, one is in Arsenal. What am I saying? One is in Arsenal. But before, there was one who was Arsenal. There was one who was like Man United and stuff. But I was never like, okay, we're gonna watch the game because they weren't hype either. They weren't like watching all the time.
Okay, I follow. I follow.
Well, I dated someone who actually watched all the time, and I enjoyed it just as much as I would enjoy watching a reality show.
Word, word.
So I was like, okay, no, dope. Like, this is something I look forward to like all the time. So let me just support these guys.
And
And I
that's
had
that's
like,
awesome.
I just happened to jump. Oh yeah, they call us the jump in something. I just jumped in at the right time.
Oh, why? The fans I don't like are the ones who say, and you ask, okay, who do you like? Who's your favorite player? Or rather, they'll say, what's your favorite team? I think it's the one with the Cristiano Ronaldo's on, or Lionel Messi. I'm just like, look, okay, wait,
Bruh.
no, just stop it. Respect the man. Though I'm gonna speak to Cristiano in particular because I mentioned him first. The man lives and breathes football. He is his body.
He
His
lives
body
and
is him.
breathes.
The man,
Like,
yeah, his body's a temple.
that's just pure work ethic right there. It's
Pure.
just
The
nothing
epitome.
else. Eat, sleep, drink. Like, he practices like more. Well, in previous years, like he would practice more than his like teammates. Like he was there, the first one, last one to leave. Like he is so disciplined. The man is disciplined.
Pure,
Whereas
pure
like
example of
Messi
professionalism.
just has. that raw talent within him.
Yeah, he's a
You
natural.
know?
He was born to do
Yeah,
it.
he's a natural.
You know, it's kind of like LeBron James versus Mike. You know, for example, Mike is just it's Mike, man. It's Mike. Even you could even say LeBron versus Kobe. Like Kobe was
Yeah.
more. It's natural. It's his DNA. LeBron James
Yeah.
is man. He's building the muscle. He's putting in the work every single time. First man out, last
Mhm.
one now. He has to work harder because the talent isn't as natural.
Mhm.
But I mean, the reason why I bring that up is because coming into Women's Month, because it's actually our last show for the month of women. Hey, hey, for Women's Month.
Hey.
There's there is a stigma around, and there is evidence, there is fact around it. But like any other stigma, there's a stigma around. Sorry, not a stigma, a stereotype around women,
Mm.
not liking football, not supporting football. And I think, yeah, no, it's there. I mean, when the homies are there, nah, I'm just gonna watch football. My girl ain't gonna, that thing exists, and I just feel like it's not true.
Yeah.
It's really not true. I think a lot of the times, and maybe it's locally here, a lot of the times, exposed to a small sample group of women who may not
True.
like football or may not watch it, or maybe just haven't been given the opportunity to learn the game. It doesn't necessarily mean that just because a few
Mm.
women necessarily don't like football or don't watch it, maybe because they haven't given it a chance or they haven't had an opportunity, doesn't mean that this is just for men
Yeah.
alone. Like I always said to my
Like
girlfriend,
rugby.
yeah, absolutely. I've always said
Like
to my,
I don't.
yeah,
There's literally all my female friends watch rugby,
you see, you
so
see.
it's not a thing of like, oh, okay, it's only a male thing.
Hello,
It just maybe
brothers.
it's not their sport. Like
Yeah.
I don't particularly enjoy cricket, but my boyfriend loves cricket, so like now I'm gonna like try understand it, even though I find it hella boring.
Wait, on cricket, I think. Oh, no, it's not. I was gonna be extra. I'm not gonna be extra. I find cricket boring to watch on TV.
Yeah,
However, if you still feel like when you try to watch it, it's boring, I would actually
yeah,
recommend, and I'm sure he'll do the same. For me, cricket live versus cricket watching at
that's
home
what he said.
is two
That's what he
different
said.
things. Two different things. The
That's
first time,
exactly what he said.
yeah, no, really. The first time I went to watch cricket live, yeah, it was a vibe, bruh. It was a
That's
vibe.
exactly what he said.
Oh my gosh. I don't know the local teams. I just know I think Dolphins or whoever, and I don't really
Hmm.
care for it. But man, if you say to me, "Yo, man, we got 2 tickets to go watch cricket live. You coming?" I'm going, bro. I'm
Yeah,
coming. I'm coming. It's a vibe. Like it's a pure, pure, pure vibe. I'm all for it, and it is
because
actually
all
good.
you hear, because all you hear on TV is like, ah, that's all you hear. Like there's no like, like soccer's like that, and rugby is also like that.
Yeah.
It's not a, how do I say this? Cricket's not a sexy game.
That's
It's
not.
just,
Yeah, it's not sexy. It's not.
it's like golf for me. Watching,
Oh.
it's like it's not sexy.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. The wind speed is a little bit slow today. There goes Tiger.
I forgot you're a golfer.
He's going,
I forgot you. Aren't you a golfer?
and it's a birdie. No, I used to play golf when I was young, and I took some interest in it, and I played it for some time. Then I left because I was just
Mm.
like, this bores me. In terms of playing, I like football as well, but my sport is basketball, man. Oh
I
man.
wish we had that here. Like I wish we
Oh.
had a whole
Oh. Do
like
you do you
I
follow?
wish we had that. I don't like I'll just like watch highlights.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, but it's not the same, but it's so fast.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful.
But it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Like yeah.
It's such a tricky sport, but I think I wish you did have it. I think I have a theory. Bam, bam, I need to have a button that goes like bloom whenever I have a theory. Um, I think part of the reason we don't like basketball that often, or it's not a thing
Yeah.
here, is because the African men, on average, are short.
Yeah. Y'all are short.
Black
Y'all
men. Let me
are
say black men because basketball.
no, it's not. It's not a race thing. Like y'all are just short.
Okay, no, you're right. Because someone actually
And
said,
here's the problem.
yeah.
Here's the problem. I'm really short. So, like, when people meet me, right, they'll be like, oh my gosh, you look so much taller on Instagram or on your or WhatsApp pictures.
Aren't you average height?
I'm not average. I'm very short. I'm very short. I'm like, what, five? What?
I'm not 5'2".
Yeah, I'm five. I'm 5'2".
Is that not the average height of South African
It's
women?
not the average height. I think the average height, no, it's not. So when I see guys and I'm wearing heels, they're the same height as me. And I'm thinking these poor women who have these gorgeous long legs and, are so tall now have to,
You know,
I don't know. Hey?
when the one leg or the two legs are over, it's kind of like a mission, and because your leg is maybe longer than his torso, and
I literally just got a, I just got an image of like her legs are there and then
you know,
literally just wrapping around
and
like
literally,
that is
and
all
literally,
good.
like when the legs are like wrapped around because the legs are so long, and you're just like there, like maybe faking or playing around. It's like, let me see if I can reach the bum. Boop.
No,
No,
I really think, but I think it's a like we all have preferences.
yeah, yeah.
So
No, but African
yeah,
men are short. I mean, I think I've told you before. I studied in the States, and my
yes,
experience there, I was, I think in South Africa, I'm just over average height,
you are.
um, and there I was maybe like I was the average or just shorter than average. Like it's ridiculous.
Mm.
I had motombos all over me, bruh, black and white, and I was just like, yo, what's up, man? Hey,
How you doing?
what's going on, my little African brother? What's going on, man? No, no, we're short. But you can also see it. You can see it, but I think it's more in like your Europeans and West African esque, because even like in South America, like some of the South Americans that I went to school with, not all of them were that tall. They were more or less South African people height esque.
Yes.
Generally. So I think the people who are from the western side of Africa generally, and your
Mm.
Europeans or those of European descent, you see them, and also because America has the GMO situation intensely,
Yeah.
you kind of see it really popular there in particular.
That's why a part of me, I don't know like the history of it. A part of me feels like we come from Congo because Congolese guys are also very short.
Well, it's possible because of the what is it called?
Like when we
The
migrated.
Bantu migration. It was from, I believe it was from the west. Then we came ish to past Congo, and then we settled here. Our
Yeah.
ancestors were like, man.
Like our genetics there, we just happen to like start to decrease.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I'm like, man, I do wish I was a little bit taller, because especially since I love basketball,
Right?
because dunking is so tricky. And I've always wished I could dunk, and that's why I loved movies like Mike. Those always
Mm.
resonated with me. I was like, man, I'm Bow Wow. I want to jump and dunk on that thing. I'm like, ancestors, come on, dog. Y'all couldn't stay for like another 2 years just to
But
get
isn't
that,
Steph
huh?
Steph is not that tall.
No, Steph, but he's tall. I think Steph. Fact check. I'm pretty sure Steph is like 6'1".
But
Um,
that's not
no,
tall.
no, it's
I'm
not
saying.
tall, but that's taller than me, and that's what matters here. If Steph Curry was shorter than me, I'd have a
Steph
little
and
bit more
Jimmy.
confidence. Let's see. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, yeah, he's way taller than me.
How,
Like a whole 10 centimeters.
wow, a whole 10 centimeters.
That's a
That's
third. That's a third of a ruler, kids. But no, man, look, he's 6'3". Damn, dog.
that's
Sorry.
not very tall. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's
So
point guard height, and that's quite. That's definitely tall in South Africa. If Steph Curry came here, he would treat me like his little son. Be like, "Yo, what's up, son?" And I don't know how I'd respond to that. I'd just be like, "Yo, Malume." No, man. But jokes aside, I wanted to also just dive in a bit into you as well. Like, I think what's interesting about you is you've been around, and guys, get you my another gutter. That's not what I mean. I'm talking about. I mean, like professionally and in terms of life as well. Like, your journey is very vast. You are
Yeah.
quite young. I'm not going to reveal your age, but you're older than 20. So you're over 20 years of being on Earth.
Yeah.
Um, you've
Why do
been
you
through a
gotta
lot.
remind me though?
Huh?
Why you gotta remind me?
No, but you're young. Relatively, in the grand scape of life, you're very young. I mean, in
Yeah.
terms of if your age compared to someone who's 100, you're pretty young.
Mm.
But you've gone through a lot. And now I'm speaking now specifically professionally. Maybe take us through some of your experiences going through corporate. Outside of corporate, what made you take certain steps. You don't necessarily have to speak about certain companies, but just like maybe the industries as well.
Yeah. So I have to like dial back
Yeah.
to Black parents because
Uh-oh.
I think they sort of make your purpose a longer battle to figure out.
Yeah.
Like, you get told you have to study medicine, accounting, um, engineering, investments. Like, you have to study specific things. So it's like you're not really having a choice. So I wasn't one of those people who I couldn't say, oh, I'm going to go study drama or I'm going to do psychology. I wasn't already from the age of 13. I knew, okay, I have to be in finance. There's no other way around it. This is what we're paying for. Don't even think, don't even dream, don't even any of that. So I studied finance, and then I worked at an FMCG, which is a fast moving consumer goods, and
Yep.
that's like the big companies like of Procter Gamble, Nestle, Unilever. They're the big guys. So I worked there. It was very interesting for me because I've always I was challenged about purpose. Like just as I got there, like I mean that's like everyone's dream job. Literally, everyone would be like, "You're so lucky, you're so lucky! Oh my gosh, this is amazing!" And I think what made it worse as well is that I got into that position without having a degree. So people were just like, how are you working here? Like, you must have impressed the directors, the VPs. Like, how did you get this? I had to have honors to be here, and there were like people with masters and stuff in the room. So I was just like, you know what? People connect with people. They're going to remember you if you connect with them. They're not going to remember if you just spitting out facts and stuff. You need to like go deep to the root of the person, appeal to them. So I got there and I'm starting to think about purpose. And I'm like, do I want my life to be this boring? And I got a lot of flack for it because what's boring to other people, like what's boring to me is not boring to other people.
100%.
I was like, I do not want to be balancing books and checking if the bottom line is constantly increasing, explaining why these brands are doing well, why others aren't doing well financially. I'm like, I'm not about this. I don't think this falls in line with my purpose of serving people. So then I left. And then I came to Joburg. That was my next job. I worked with some high profile person. I think that's when my vision opened up in terms of just life. How would you want to live as a person? I think that period I would title as ethics.
Yeah.
I think a lot of my ethics were tested then. A lot of my who am I going to be as a person? And then I moved from that, which was like a so-called still within finances. I was going to say venture capital, but it wasn't a venture capital firm. They would have liked it to be.
I was going to say there's not that many in this country.
Yeah, they would have liked it to be, but it's not that. And then I again continued within finance, but this time helping not businesses. So I went from working with brands, helping businesses, and then helping individuals. And I didn't particularly enjoy that because, again, this is all under corporate. I didn't particularly enjoy that because I like connecting with people.
Mm.
Like, I don't like shoving things down people's throats. I don't like things shoved down my throat. I want people to be free. I think people have such little freedom in their lives. Yeah, so that didn't wasn't a good match for me. Then I did something completely different and did like a consulting thing,
Mm-hmm.
but this time for like influencers and celebs.
Yeah.
That just confused me so much.
Plug your word.
That confused me so much because I'm like, I don't want this live. I don't want this live. Like I'm super authentic and just I have like verbal diarrhea. Like just can't
Yeah.
stop. Like
I figured
it just comes out. I wish there was a stop that could just be like process and then out, but it just goes. So corporate is definitely for people who are considering working with influencers and celebs, corporate is definitely more structured. There's a lot more structure in place. People understand professionalism. They understand how you need to act. Whereas in the entertainment industry, there's not a lot of structure at all.
Yeah.
I was actually shocked that it's just so easy for anyone to get in.
Yeah.
It's easy for anyone to be a manager. It's easy for anyone to be an agent. It's easy. Like there's no qualifications that need to be in place. There's no.
Just want to have to do it.
Yeah, they just, and I think that was the frustrating thing for me is seeing that you literally have to create a blueprint as you go because there's no blueprint.
Yeah, the infrastructure and specifically in the entertainment industry here, it's not trash, but I mean it's terrible. And it's only terrible because it could be better, not necessarily because it's terrible because of what it is, but because it could be better. So I can imagine, just talking about what you've been through, because what you've been through is very structural in terms of the environments that you're in. To go into something where literally there's no spine.
No spine whatsoever. No, there's zero professionalism.
Calamari.
There's like zero professionalism, like none. I expected like to be signing NDAs. I've never signed an NDA. I expected like never. No one's ever made me sign an NDA.
Ha! That's wild.
No one never signed an NDA. I mean, yeah, I've seen things.
That is wild. I mean, but I can believe it.
I don't think people like, even people's own relationships. Like, I would even suggest, I'm like, why aren't you making your boyfriend sign an NDA? Or why aren't you making so-and-so sign an NDA? Like, are you fine with that?
Wait, do you mean in terms of, so if you're a person in entertainment and you do a lot of content, and because, we do pillow talk and we do a lot of things, because you don't have an NDA, you can go to Sunday Sun and be like, yo, Mosa, she doesn't actually comb her hair.
Yes. Yeah.
That's wild. I've never thought about that. That's actually quite wild.
I just didn't understand why people's partners, and it's not a thing of like, you have to be a big name to have an NDA, but you can it's almost like a prenup. You need to kind of see, okay, we don't call them prenups in this country, it's antenuptial.
Yeah.
But you can almost see, okay, if this doesn't work out, worst case scenario, let me protect myself. But I just don't think people are so keen on protecting themselves so much as making everyone else believe a certain image about them.
But you know what the issue? You know what I think the issue is around that? I think people are very sensitive in South Africa. There's ego, there's fragility. There's a huge part around sensitivity because I know that I've met people who, for example, they only want to talk about money later, or they only want to do contracts later, and that's how they get screwed. Or they only want to, for example, as you say with your partner, maybe they don't want your partner to sign an NDA because, oh my gosh, she might get offended, or they don't want to sign A and C, an antenuptial contract because, Oh, but we're supposed to live together for the rest of our lives. It's you and me against the world, babe. And they don't want to talk about it because it could be like, oh, so now you don't trust me? You're saying what's yours? Yeah, we separate now? I thought you putting a ring on. What's going on, bruh? Like so. I think there's that, but I think what people need to do is, to be fair, if you believe in yourself, if you value yourself, actually, if you really truly value yourself, you value what you do, what you believe in, you need to be able to have those very difficult conversations in all of those different situations, because number one, you're protecting yourself. Number two,
Mm.
you're also setting a standard of excellence. People think it's, oh, you don't trust me. No, I'm setting the tone of a way of life, a way of doing business, a
I
way
think
of
that's
living.
another thing. You said the correct word, standard of excellence.
Yeah.
I don't think individuals here strive towards, again, this is where corporate mindset comes from.
Mm.
You have to think globally. And I think people here in the entertainment industry aren't thinking from a global perspective.
Mm.
So it's like, okay, no, it's good for SA,
Yeah.
but is this good internationally?
100%.
Like one thing you'd always say, I don't want to, compromise on quality, quality, quality. Like that's it's key, and some people don't get that. So coming in, being like, okay, who do you want to be like, or how have you set up your purpose? How have you set up your life? And not being able to get an answer like that, I wouldn't be able to get answers. Look, and I'm like, okay, since you don't have a purpose for yourself, since you don't have a vision for your life, we're just going to create a blueprint from somebody else that's worked for them, and we're going to copy it onto you, but you're going to add your own twist to it.
Yeah.
Because deep down, you still need to go through that therapy of unraveling who it is that you really are
Yeah.
and what it is that you really want. Or are you just in it for the money
Which
and
is
the
also
fame?
fair. But if you're going to do it right.
Yeah.
And for me, part of the reason I left, so when I left South Africa, I left more based on a feeling than I couldn't necessarily articulate it. It was just a feeling. But when I left, I understood why I left. And the thing
Hmm.
is, because I don't want people to say, "Oh, you guys always smash bashing South Africa," blah blah. No, there are people in this country who are brilliant, who are excellent, who are phenomenal,
Yes.
who have the standard, who have a code of ethics, and they've got they live for brilliance. But
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 they have you looked at their followership? Have you seen how many people follow the ones of excellence?
not many probably.
They don't have that many followers. They don't.
They don't.
But I mean, if you look at like Busi is like phenomenal, phenomenal.
Mm.
Jason, phenomenal. These people, the quality that they have, that they bring. Um, but
People are unattracted to it because it doesn't appear to be sexy. You know,
but why?
I don't
Why
get.
is it? I
I
think
don't
it is.
know. It's
It is,
definitely
but they don't.
sexy.
But why? Why don't people see it that way?
I don't know. I definitely think it is. There is a historic thing around it, most certainly. But I can't necessarily quote it because if I was to break it down, I would be speculating in terms of why I think that's the case. But I mean, I
And
remember when I was in the
yeah,
States, and this is the point I wanted to say because I'm not bashing South Africa or South Africans necessarily, because the only thing is that in the pockets that I've experienced, I haven't seen that breadth of brilliance all over the place. The moment I got to the States, I saw it so frequent. It was such a frequent occurrence. I was shocked. In the smallest towns to the biggest towns, it's there. Yeah, they got their own problems. We're not trying to deep dive into a lot. I'm just saying that I felt a breath of that. Like all my, not all, I'll say the majority of my American friends, for example, during the summers, they would be working. It's not spring break. It's not going to Durban. It's not this, that. Literally, it's a thing of, yo, it's holiday time. I'm gonna drink. I'm gonna party. But I got a summer job. I got this, and they also put that into the classroom. They brought it into how they do
mm,
certain things. Obviously, I think
mm,
maybe where it becomes skewed or obscured is really where their life values are. If you look at the Trumps, if you look at certain people on the
yeah,
right and the left, that's where you see it like kind of become a bit fuzzy. But if you're looking at the core of what they do and remove like the ethics and everything, they do
Mm,
they're brilliant in what they do. And I want to
mm,
see more of that. And my grandfather always, my grand uncle, to be more exact, he always preaches around that. He's like, man, you youngsters, y'all just don't want to be brilliant. I don't see the breath of brilliance in y'all. What's up,
mm,
man? What's up,
mm.
man? Oh my gosh. Um, so what you call it? But looking at that, I want to also just tell zone it back because there was something I wanted to focus in on, and it's something that you said. You spoke about focus. I mean, sorry,
Yeah.
purpose. Um, how old were you when you found purpose, and have you found your life's purpose? Actually, let's start there. Have you found your life's purpose?
I think I'm still on the journey because, like, every time I think I have, I experience something spiritually again where I'm like, ooh, maybe not that. But I know it involves people and helping and serving people, serving community, because that brings me joy in serving others.
Mm,
But it's something I've always battled with. Um, I remember the first time I ever asked myself that question was when my drama teacher asked us, okay, so basically he took out a piece of paper and he wrote the word audition.
mm,
And then he put it in the middle of the class and he said, do whatever you want with this word.
mm,
Just so I wrote a monologue about myself auditioning through life.
mm.
This is like when I was 15, like
Oh wow.
auditioning through life, trying to figure out who I am. And then at the end of like that was my thing of auditioning through life. And at the end of the day, I'm like, I look up to the heavens and I'm like, who am I?
Mm,
Because I feel like that's the one question a lot of people can't answer when you ask them. They'll say, I am a mother, I am a sister, I am this, but who are you? So that's been a very difficult question for me to answer over the years of what is my purpose. So I was able to answer the who am I, but in terms of the purpose, I think I'm still evolving
mm, mm.
and growing.
And can you talk
Yeah.
around your evolution or your growth when you're coursing through, like you said, in corporate and then moving into different industries? Like, what did you have? Was it like a moment for you where it was like, this shit ain't for me, man. This ain't who I am, or was it like a
So this,
multiple of experiences? Like, what
this
awoke
is
you? What inspired the moves?
for me is if I'm not feeling something, I generally just move.
Mm,
Because if things are going to be toxic, I don't like staying in toxic environments.
mm, mm,
That's something being neurodiverse, I can't be able to and that's something I think people need to understand is neurodiverse people really struggle staying in one place if it's toxic because they're just trying to protect themselves. So like
neurodiverse. Please expand on that.
so like people with ADHD, people who struggle with anxiety, such as myself, people who, what's that other? So anything that has a mental condition, bipolar, things like that,
Mm,
anything that has to do with this, they really, and if I look at people's examples through life, people will say I'm like depressed, whatever, like as a thing of I'm sad.
yeah.
Depressed, like say I'm depressed alternatively meaning that they're sad. But if you're depressed, if you're bipolar, if you have anxiety, if you ADHD, if you have what's that thing like autism,
Yeah.
things like that, it's very difficult. The people that I've seen, it's difficult to stay in one place
Mm.
if you're not passionate about it and if it's toxic.
That's wild. I think for me, myself as an individual, toxicity is potent. It's almost like it's exaggerated in a manner because I'm the type of person who, and not just me in the whole. I just mean like someone like me. I absorb energy very well, and
Hmm.
unfortunately, it's something that I don't have enough control of. So if I'm chilling with you and you are absolutely pissed off, you're this. I won't necessarily get pissed off because people will think, oh, so because you're pissed, I'm gonna be pissed. No, but there's an energy
Yeah.
you exert in that state. You're in excited. We're talking about chemistry. You're in chemistry. I think it's chemistry. You're in an excited state at the time, and there's
Yeah.
an energy that you do exert. And then I catch that, and I'm just like, oh man, I'm frantic. If we're at work, if there's a toxic environment, I catch that. And it's also reflecting other parts of my life because it bleeds into the different bubbles of who I am in particular.
You
Um,
end up bleeding to other people.
yeah, 100%, 100%. And that's why I find myself, and I could be wrong. I think I've always thought that I need to have more therapy because the conversations I have with myself aren't enough. It's almost like I don't know if you watch The Flash. It's on what is it? Is it on NBC? Yeah, on NBC. So they
I
have
know the character though.
yeah. So on the TV, it's on the CW. Sorry. There's this one character, to keep it simple, there's one character, and there's multiple dimensions in that universe, of course. But there's this one
Mm.
character in different dimensions. He knows the different versions of himself. So they have a council of selves from different dimensions. So
Mm.
for me, it's kind of like that. Like I have moments inside of me where it's like, okay,
Ooh, I just got goosebumps.
right? The Council of Neo, meeting is adjourned. Neo, what happened
Uh,
today in your galaxy, in your dimension? And the problem is we're talking to
like
ourselves.
I got such goosebumps because I had some good leaves, and I had this same, like, I don't know, I think our minds are actually bigger than we imagine,
Oh
or
yeah.
space of time. And I literally, the next day, I'm not trying to explain to people that I was going through time loops
Mm.
of like different scenarios. But actually, the next time it happened again, I sort of realized the consequences of that specific action happening. I don't know if you'll get it.
Yeah.
The result of limiting beliefs.
Yes.
So whether I had allowed a limiting belief to come in or whether I didn't. So like I was like having like, I wouldn't say it was a panic attack, but I was tripping. Like I was tripping because I didn't realize. I'm like, because you're literally going in like moments of like, like it was crazy.
Mm.
And literally that is our lives. We are a sum of our limiting beliefs.
100%. When you're a child, as you're born, you have none. As you get older, they keep
Mm.
they keep piling up.
So
And
like if you didn't like limit yourself so much, you wouldn't need to, it goes back to what you said. You wouldn't need to counsel yourself so much.
and it's subconscious. People will think, yeah, but I don't wake up saying to me, yeah, I'm not gonna make it today. Yeah, but there is also subconscious layers that pull you
And
throughout the day, slowly and
yes.
methodically pulling you, saying you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna have a good day. And you don't see it.
Yes.
And I think that's where people also get confused around, being depressed, etc. They just think, oh, someone is depressed if they're sick or whatever. But no, there's also these things that happen to you on a daily basis. It comes in different forms. It doesn't just have to be a breakdown. Every day you have these things that pull.
Vibrations every single day. You're attracting, it's like simple things like driving. You can get out of home like, yay, yippee-yay, and then you get on the road and you feeling the tension, you feeling everyone's vibrations.
Mm.
You come back home throughout your whole day and you bring that back into the home.
And kids absorb that stuff like crazy, man.
Yes.
Parents, yo, watch out. Watch out. Kids have the superpower. All of them have the superpower to absorb intensely.
Absolutely.
My goodness. And I mean, talking about, I see you sipping over there. What you sipping on?
I'm having some white wine.
Oh, white wine. So okay, let's take a journey. So what are your favorite alcohols?
Ooh, I love cocktails. Okay, the one thing I don't like about me is that whenever I go out, people like me to choose the drinks
Yeah.
because like I always have bomb drinks because I always just look at the ingredients and I'm like, oh, this is gonna look good. This is like, because if they look at themselves, for example, like there's this place in Morningside, they mix Hennessy and champagne. But when you tell people I'm having, yes, and they put some like orange zest and stuff inside it, and it comes in like a thin glass. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
You know what that is, right?
What?
That's a whole glass of fuck you up. From bottom to from bottom, the
It
sugar.
just the mood. You're like, whoa. But like, yeah, I love cocktails. Anything gin.
Mhm.
I love some gin in there. So I love gin and champagne cocktails, Hennessy cocktail. I like that. I don't like whiskey.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, wine's aight. It's okay. I like it because I studied in Stellenbosch, so like wine is just a part of all of our cultures for
Yeah.
people who drank. And plus, it was super cheap. Like we could go wine tasting, just pay $60. As a student, you just pay 60 rand
Oh yeah.
and
my
you can go
coconut
wine tasting. Like it was the best. And then you leave the farm and you guys are all just, and then you go have some cocktails and you're good for the weekend.
Well, interestingly, I hate champagne. I hate white wine.
I'm not a big fan of, I like champagne cocktails. I
Yeah.
don't like actual, I think people are lying by saying it's nice. I think it's just for ambiance.
Yeah. Wow. Well, look, something my girlfriend taught me recently. Well, she didn't teach it to me recently, but she is as stubborn as I am. So me and my stubbornness, I finally let a layer of my stubbornness go, and we did like an in-house picnic thing, and like it was with an assortment of with an array of different cheeses and cold meats and etc. etc.
Ooh,
So
you're
and
fancy.
also, I'm not really like a cheese platter person. Like, it's not me. But when I allowed a layer of stubbornness to be peeled off, um,
Yes.
I enjoyed it a little bit. Not all of the cheeses. Like I got to say, okay, I kind of know like what's my vibe. And then the biggest thing that struck me,
Yeah.
and I'm so amazed. And there's a lesson in this. Um, After we had that and we paired it with champagne. Champagne tasted kind of good. And then, yeah, it was a moment where I was like, so I have fought this thing my whole life. And by the way, I still
Yeah.
stand by, I don't like champagne by itself, ugh. But I realized that had I allowed myself to open myself and peel that layer of ignorance, because it is a layer of ignorance, and allow myself to try something new, which my girlfriend loves to push us to do, I would have maybe lived life a little bit more. I would have been, because we've gone to the wine farms and stuff, and when we had those moments, I was like oh,
Yeah.
cheese, like champagne, like, oh, I had that thing, and I think I see that. I'm not gonna say. Actually, let me
Isn't that
say,
a Pretoria thing?
stop it. No, no,
You
stop
know
it.
how I feel about you
No,
people.
stop it. First and foremost, as the mayor, as the unelected mayor of Pretoria, I've
You know
got
how I feel about you people.
I've got to say, man, Pretoria is a beautiful place. The people are beautiful people,
Oh no, the people are beautiful. The people are kind-hearted people.
but
The men.
look.
Can
So
we talk about men, please? Y'all are just
I don't know what it is. Can I tell you something? I've defended Pretoria till the death of me. Like every day, every week, I live this city and breathe it. But what I've come to realize, and I'm not excluding myself, so I don't want guys coming up here in the comments being like, "Yo, who are you? Why you think you special, homie?" Nah, I'm not excluding myself. But what I've come to realize that, man, Pretoria guys actually kind of have a bad track record, man. Not as bad as the guys
you know why
from
I'm saying I
from the
brought it up?
Eastern
It's
Cape.
because you said not as bad as Eastern Cape.
I've just gotta say, we bad,
But
but
guys, no, I think they're very good actors. Phenomenal. Like I'm telling you, like whew.
Guys from?
Eastern Cape guys.
Yo. And to be
The-
fair, I'm not gonna, I've never met every single person from there, but man, when I went to Cape Town, my experience was terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible, terrible. That's the big, and Zulu men to some extent, but more the guys from the Eastern Cape, man. Look,
Look,
I felt more black on black hate from that. Like wow,
bruh, no, I love. I hear. Why?
it's just what I've experienced. More, it could just be coincidence, to be honest.
I need Zulu guys.
No, but also like I had a bad experience with the Zulu. It's always Joburg. That's a part of the reason
I
I don't
like
like Joburg.
every. I love every tribe. I just don't vibe with Zulu men. The women, I get along with the women. Oh, I love the women. They're amazing.
Mm.
The men, I can't handle the ego. I know I'm stereotyping and generalizing, but I can't handle that thing of like, I'm a man. You must talk to me because I'm a man. Like, nah.
Yeah, and
And
I
are
yes.
the only tribe of people that constantly do that. I haven't met like vendor guys who do that, Tsonga,
Mm.
you know, Tswana. Like, I don't know. It's just a lot of them that these Zulu guys now.
Yeah, I had one experience, and then again, it takes one rotten apple to really spoil the bunch. I had a horrible experience in Joburg once. I think it was in Parkview or Parkview, Parkhurst. Parkhurst is the one where there's a Rockets, right? But like a restaurant dish. I'm not sure if you're familiar.
Rockets is by Bryanston.
No, it's not by Bryanston. So it's Parkview. You say Parkview's by Bryanston, and Parkhurst is like more.
No, you said Rockets. I said Rockets is in Bryanston.
Oh no, but there's another Rockets. There's like
Oh.
it's more restaurant y.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it is Parkhurst. So I was at Parkhurst, not a Joburg man. Went there because corporate. Hey, gonna be part of the team. Went there for like a dinner or whatever. I think it was dinner or birthday party. And man, it was the parking god. Yo. So I park my car and homie starts rapping to me in Zulu. And I respond in Setswana.
Oh, I do the same
Yeah, I
thing.
did it straight. I was just like, okay,
I do the same
since this is
thing.
what we're doing, this is what I'm gonna do. He keeps responding
Yep.
to me in Zulu. I keep responding in Tswana.
Yes, why do they do
And he keeps going
that?
confidently. Doesn't even say, oh, you don't speak Zulu. He just keeps going. Blah, blah, blah,
Hell,
blah, blah,
we
blah.
all do that.
And then at some point, I was just like, yo, champ, I don't speak Zulu. And then he literally, and I can tell it was genuine. I'm in the arts, man. I can see when the emotion rises above. I saw it. It was 100% genuine. The man was struck with disbelief. He was like, you don't speak Zulu?
Zulu? You don't
Huh?
talk Zulu?
He's like, nah, fam. But this is like, for real? And I was like,
You black
yeah. No,
and you
not
don't.
exactly. Not everybody speaks Zulu. I know it's common.
Yes.
So is Afrikaans. So is English. A lot of people can't speak English well. A lot of people don't speak Afrikaans. In fact, Mandarin is one of the most popular languages in the world. A lot of people don't speak Mandarin.
Don't you
It
find?
happens.
Don't you find that Zulu people and Afrikaans people, same WhatsApp group,
In terms of like the confidence or the arrogance.
the language thing,
Oh,
like
yeah.
especially farmers will be like, "You don't talk Afrikaans? You don't
Yeah.
understand Afrikaans?"
Yeah,
Like,
I've got a problem with that. I think, and for me, it's a common decency issue. It's a common
yes,
decency issue. And I'm gonna speak, and I'm not a guy. I know because I'm black and I'm speaking about Afrikaans. This is not one of those shows, or it's not one of those moments. Rather, I'm just speaking facts and experience from experience. So call it subjective if you want. But I mean, like I've had people like Afrikaans people who who would be rapping at me in Afrikaans. Like first and foremost, if I'm black, right,
Yeah.
or I sound black,
Yeah.
isn't your first like observation or response to be like, and maybe it's wrong to assume people don't speak Afrikaans, but the likelihood that someone of color doesn't speak it, the probability is quite high. So let's start there. I don't speak Afrikaans, dog. So don't rap at me in Afrikaans, dog. And there are people, even when you're like, sorry, I don't understand. Yo, no, ik verstaan, papa, chapa, chapa, chapa. I'm like,
I just told you.
and to be fair, like I said, because people are very sensitive online, so it's not a Afrikaans Zulu thing alone. Like it happens elsewhere. Like I've been to France, and in France,
But
and
that's the French. We were
yeah,
just talking about this yesterday. We
uh
were
huh,
just talking. The French are like that.
mm-hmm,
They don't speak. They refuse to speak English to you.
yeah.
They
Sorry,
just
so if
refuse.
you
They
have
know it.
cheeseburgers, parlez-vous français?
They know it. They know it. This is my problem. People who know the language and don't speak it, I have a problem with it.
Yeah.
But for example, if someone is Zulu and they don't know English and they don't know any other African language, by all means, I'm going to try my best
Mm.
because that's common decency. Likewise with Afrikaans, if I can hear this person, the horn bluff, what, I'll try my best to accommodate them. My
Mm.
problem is when you absolutely know English
Mm.
and you just refuse.
Yeah, that's different. And also, I have another angle. So my vernac is not that great, right? But my perspective on vernacular languages,
No.
yeah, uh, yeah. I'm watching because yeah, I'm sure you figured. But I don't really have an issue with that. My problem with myself is that I don't know better, and that's my own problem. But my issue with other people, right, is generally vernacular speakers. Maybe it also happens in the Afrikaans field as well. I'm not too sure. But I've had experience where, because of how I speak, and when I try to speak in vernacular to my fellow brothers and sisters, and it's more the brothers, but my brothers and sisters, there's this thing of I get this response of, why don't you want to speak to me in English? You think I'm less because I maybe can't speak it well, and it's the thing that perplexes me. I understand more or less vaguely why that is, but why it
Yeah.
perplexes me is because I find African languages to be so beautiful, and
Mm.
for me, it's a dream to be able to express myself in the vernacular tongue. And I feel like not everybody, because Zulu guys do it. I mean, Zulu guys, we get it, dog. Okay, but there is a beauty in the love of it, and I
Yeah.
wish we had more of that, and we celebrated that. I mean, we're in the studio today, and we spoke about Beyonce. We're like, man, it's so wild. Two things. One, it's so wild that someone from America had to come. And to be fair, people will say, yeah, but Beyonce's got the resources. Yeah, I get that, but there isn't enough on a wide scale, and also maybe corporate supporting it, society supporting it. We don't see enough of us celebrating our languages, our heritage, our colors, our fashion, how we speak, how we look. We don't. It's not enough of that, and it's wild that somebody from America had to come and do it. Um, but man, there's a true beauty in that, and I feel like we get lost in the lack of that. And I had a conversation with somebody, just in closing, in terms of what I'm saying. I had a conversation with someone where I was saying, I noticed when what is it, Black is King came out, someone posted on Facebook, and it was an African person. Their response was, "Wow, she's so disrespectful. She thinks we still live like this, and she's betraying this and that." And I was like, "Man, you're missing." I feel, in my personal opinion, I feel like you're missing the point, because I thought that shit was so swag. That was swag to the
I
max.
thought it was dumb. I'm like, we live like queens and kings. What happened?
We should be living like that. That's what Africa
Yes,
should be.
we're royalty. We still are royalty. It's almost we just forgot.
Yeah, you know what should be the number one fast food restaurant in South Africa? It should be Mickey Donald's, not McDonald's. Mickey Donald's. I mean, like, we need to be. It should be a thing when a foreigner comes here. Yes, you have a McDonald's and you have a KFC and stuff, whatever. But the big brands are Mickey Donald. And your big brands are Rich Mnisi. Your big brands are, and that's what everybody is. And they're like, oh wow, do you guys not have a Gap here? And it's like, there's a Gap somewhere in Cape Town. But if you're looking for something similar, but like African-esque, you should probably go to not Gap but Gepi. There's a
Yeah.
Gepi there. And that should be the experience that we sell. If people should be able to export from here. We have African everything. And people in America say, oh, I want to get this type of outfit. Where do you get it? South Africa. Oh, shit, you have to go to this business online. Go online, buy it. The South African Amazon, buy it from Amazon. It gets transferred there. People come here for the experience because yes, they come here. Americans and Europeans come to South Africa and stuff, and they enjoy it. But they also enjoy it because one, it's cheaper for them, and it kind of feels like home for them in a way, but a little bit
Yeah.
different.
Motherland.
Whereas there's more value added when you can have some of that, but man, you express and you aggregate that damn African essence into it, man. Yeah, but I
Yeah.
could I could write a whole book. Let me not do that. But your response? We need to go to Mickey Donuts, guys.
Literally, what I went last year, I went to a dinner in, it was a Yeovil, believe it or not. Like, touch my purse.
Wait, where was the dinner?
It was in Yeovil.
I mean, what's the name of the place?
It's an African place, and it's a guy's like apartment, and there were only internationals there. Like I think myself and another guy were the only South Africans. But the international people, they were like, this is the only place we can come to have a really dope. And this is how he set it up. So it's like a whole like thing. He gives you traditional drinks. He gives you traditional foods from different parts of Africa. And he tells you stories. And this is how people used to live back in the day. You had a meal. I didn't know any of these internationals, but like they were like, this is the best experience I've had thus far. Just being able to sit in someone's home, have a meal with people I've never met from, like there were people from France, Germany, a lot of them were from the States. And they're like, I needed this.
This is what I came for.
And then when they told people, they're like, yeah, we're going to Yeovil to have dinner. They're like, you South Africans are just weird. The things people were telling us, like, you're gonna die, you're not gonna make it back. And they would have missed out on that experience because of,
the fear of the locals.
Yes, the fear of the locals. And I've never tasted that food again.
Oh, wow.
I've never been able to because we don't have those places here.
Yeah, like in close proximity. In particular. And
they should be everywhere. They should be everywhere. But
everywhere.
the only time I'll ever experience it, yes, the only time I'll ever experience it again is if I go to that apartment again.
Yeah. And maybe taking that as a stepping stone into where I wanted to close off tonight. I find you to be somebody who is very familiar with their own skin, and who has a close relationship with their soul. So I mean, you and I have spoken, so I have some form of idea of like what your life experience has been and what you've gone through. But I think if you could maybe express, to people out there who either don't feel like they're lost, but they feel an essence of maybe there's something up with me, what's missing, who am I? Like, what would be your words to somebody if I was sitting next to you and I was saying to you, yo, man, I don't really know who I am. From your experience, like, what are the lessons you learned on finding yourself today? Because obviously people think that if you try to find yourself, that's who you are for life. No, we're ever evolving. Life is a journey and things change. And you have to keep up with the change of the evolution of yourself and the evolution of the world. But like, what can you advise people to do to really look to find themselves generically?
Yo, that's loaded. I would say that just take my damn pizza, okay?
The pizza slice?
He took my damn pizza, man. I think the one thing, oh, it's very loaded. What I would say to people, first and foremost, is when you're in that dip, when you're in that hole, when you're in that gutter, know that you are enough. You may not believe you are enough, but know that you're enough. Firstly, give yourself one more chance and always one more chance. Just say, you know what, I will get out. I don't know how, I don't know why, I don't know why things are happening, but you are enough. And I always tell people that daily because especially those in corporate, because they believe that their life has to be a certain way, you know, or people who want to make it big, that there's going to be some big explosion that needs to happen for them to be enough. You're enough where you're at, firstly. And then, secondly, deal with your own toxicity inside, the mess inside your soul, the mess inside your mind. Not everyone around you is toxic. Sometimes you're the one who's toxic. And then you need to grapple with that, come to that conclusion and be like, whoa, okay, deal with it. And then move past that. Be like, okay, how am I going to be a better person? And then spiritually would be the third one. Learning to align yourself. There's such power in our words, the vibrations. So before you started the segment, I'm like, okay, cool. This is going to be a great show. It's going to go smoothly. There's going to be people who can relate to this, just manifesting that out into the atmosphere. Because everything deals with vibrations.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to be like, oh, I'm stressed and da, it doesn't help anything.
You hold the shovel.
Like, for example, like when we're having technical difficulties, I could have been like, this is going crazy. This is all over the place. Like, oh my gosh, this is insane. I'm like, let's go. Let's do this. You know, let's carry on. Like, because it's words. You're speaking words of affirmation out there. And what you put out there is what you'll get back. Yeah. So that's what I would say in terms of that. And you are your own guide. I think that's the one thing that irritates me is the whole thing of mentorship. You are the best version of you that there will ever be on this planet. So don't deny us the opportunity to see you in all your glory, in all your fullness, because there will never be another you. Like, we're not trying to see other versions. There's only one, the wise. And we want to see that in all its glory, in all its splendor, helping us heal, helping us learn. Yeah.
Damn, that was loaded.
It's very loaded. There's a whole bunch of other things, but it's like
Yeah.
very... And think about it. You have to do that. You have to watch your words you have to watch your thoughts every second, every minute, every hour, every day. The first couple days are going to be draining. By the third day, you're going to feel like, I'm tapping out. I'm going back to being negative. I can't do this. My body's tired. My mind is tired. Everything is just tired. Because autopilot is so easy. Limiting beliefs are so easy. It's fun. It's nice. It's your comfort. Now you're getting out of your comfort of being like, okay, no, I'm just going to be the best that I can be. Yeah.
I follow it. It's cotton candy, man. I mean, like, cotton candy is sweet. It's easy. It's fluffy, but it's not really that good for you. You know, you can have it once in a while because we're only human. We dip out, from time to time. But like, you gotta have your days when you have your cotton candy. And I think
Yes.
people as human beings, I think it's embedded in us to strive for perfection. Even though, ironically, a lot of people who are religious, they're the people, their savior or their messiah, not necessarily the messiahs, but their saviors, like the God or the spiritual being, is what they preach to be perfection. Yet we still thrive to be perfection, and that's not what we want. And the thing is, when you thrive for that, you're like, man, today I didn't do 10 out of 10. I'm not great. And then you walk into the
Yeah.
building, someone else is maybe doing a 10 out of 10. Like, why can't I be like that person? I think people need to always remember that. And it sounds so simple, and words can be deceivingly simple, but they hold so much weight. Your path is your own. Because the reality is that even if we start the same job on the same day, your shoes will never be mine. You don't have the same sweat. We don't have the same size shoe. The material is different. We don't have the same weight, which presses on the shoe. It's different. It's completely different, and it's so easy for us to try to be like others, aspire to be like others. But and that's fine. You can be inspired by others and by things around you, but people tend to forget who they really are and tend to forget
Yeah.
that the world needs you to be the best version of you, and it's okay not to be the best version of you. Sometimes it's okay to collapse. It's okay to fall.
Remember when Kanye said that famous thing, I am a god?
Hmm.
People were like, you're crazy. But I've been listening to it, like, and I'm just like, but he kind of had a point.
Mm.
Especially, it's very controversial, but as you're exploring your spirituality, you're like, okay, I was created by some creator that is the God
Mm.
or the overall ruling,
Energy
worthy of
or
all praise, all honor God created me. I came out of that God.
mm.
So then am I not then a God or a goddess? But I'm not the God.
You see?
So if you're thinking that already I'm made perfect, I'm made whole, you don't feel this need of comparing yourself to the next person. Rather, you're comparing yourself to yourself,
Mm.
constantly trying to be a better version of oneself.
Absolutely,
And
and we're too hard on ourselves, to be honest. Like, guys, take a breather. I always say to people, there's also this delusion of time. Yes, there's 24 hours, but in the space of 24 hours, there's always more time. And we
yes,
fail to realize that we have the power to manipulate time, not by extending it, but manipulate that within that 24 hours. We have the power to play around that. So manipulate that and create time to push your passions, create time to see your lovers, create time to do the things that you love. Like, you have the
yes,
power to if you're in the deepest hole of yourself, it isn't easy, I know, and I've maybe never been in the darkest part of myself, but you can always pull yourself out. There's always a way. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. Even though I don't like that, because I'm now pushing black, the color black and everything black. So there's black at the end of the tunnel. But, like, guys, believe. And when I met you, I remember I was like, man, you're definitely you're definitely a true manifestation and representation of energy, and we all are. But I just feel like more often than not, we lose track of the fact that we are. And maybe to on that note, maybe to end today's show, I want to just quote Nazir Jones. He says, "We go in ultra black, unapologetically black, the opposite of Doja Cat, Michael Blackson Black." Come on! Don't claim South Africa, Doja. I haven't seen you in Yeovil. I haven't seen you in Pretoria. Don't claim
yes. Oh, goodness.
it. And wait, before we go,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna allow you just to leave. I think you got away with
Come
it.
on.
I told you this place is a safe space. You have
Why
to
am I not allowed to?
you, you,
Why am
you
I
have
not
to
allowed to,
you have to streak.
allowed to have some orgasms before I sleep?
No, you have to
You,
streak. No, I mean, yes, I'm taking the time from that, but we're leaving now. We're walking out the door so that you can lock the door and do your tangs. But I mean, you have to answer the ultimate question:
yeah.
the milkshake. What's your favorite milkshake?
My favorite milkshake, strawberry.
That is
I love.
different, and it actually works with the background.
Really?
Yeah, because it's got that pink element. Why strawberry? That's interesting. Well, I mean, that's a difficult question to answer.
It's not because bubblegum is just toothpaste
Hmm.
Okay. And then, so I'm just like, I don't want to feel like I am cleansing stuff in me, you know? And then lime is just so like,
Yeah, no. Those
that
people don't exist.
soda,
Those people don't exist. Nobody likes lime
it's like a
milkshake.
fizzer in your mouth with ice cream.
Mm.
Chocolate is just too much. I'm not a chocolate fan. I don't like chocolate. I really don't like chocolate. I don't like it. I don't know. Like when people would buy, like if a guy bought me chocolate, I'd be like, yeah, I don't like chocolate. I tell them first straight up, sour gummies, bring them through. I don't, chocolate thing. Mm-mm. Like that's why,
Okay.
whenever I think of chocolate, I think of people in like junior school, high school taking like the slabs
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and just biting it. And I'm just like, y'all are so savage. That's what like remember when I think of chocolate. And then vanilla is just
Vanilla.
boring. Vanilla
Okay.
is vanilla.
What about Oreo milkshake?
It's overwhelming.
Guys, I want to just announce everything that Musa said in this show. Just scrap it. Don't listen to a word she said. She doesn't exist. She's from a different planet. Don't everything that happened the past hour and 16 minutes, so fake. She doesn't like yo, it's a rap. She doesn't like Oreo.
It's overwhelming.
Overwhelming Oreo.
It because you sucking it and then there's those pieces you like
Mm.
like
First you twist it, then you
then you lick it,
then
then you dunk it.
oh man, Oreo milkshake is like an orgasm in the mouth. It's the whole process put into one. They just made it so good.
Yeah.
But anyway, let me not take time from the orgasmicness. Send my love to Mikel Arteta over there. You know, I gotta say, this is now I'm not, since we're closing off this. I gotta say first and foremost,
Yeah.
well done to you guys. Blah blah blah. Club, I hate you because you didn't come to us. I was waiting for you at my door. I thought you were gonna be my date at the prom, and you just never showed up. So fuck you, Klopp. Number one, bam. Mikel Arteta, my God, the man might just do something. I'm worried. I'm afraid. I am sincerely afraid. I am praying and hoping. In fact, I'm going to go rub the stones in Hasfontein over there at the side of the road, where it's going. I hope that it will reactivate the yearly Arsenal curse. I pray and hope it happens. Chelsea, I don't understand. I don't understand. It's not fair. These are cheat codes. It's like somebody literally gave them the FIFA cheat code. They've got 200 billion after 2 seasons. They're buying
Yeah.
anybody and everybody. I don't like you guys. I don't like your fans. I don't like your blue. You can stick to it. I'm gonna go rub the stones there in what you gonna call at Harlequins over there and hope that you guys just drown next year. Ole, I know you're watching, and don't worry,
Right.
sir. I'm on the job. Mikel Arteta over here and Jurgen Klopp over here. We'll convert them. We'll convert them. I swear to you. And on that note, I bid you adieu. Thank you so much for staying through
Thank
the
you.
storm.
Thank
It was a
you.
beautiful storm. We saw everything in the city. We didn't destroy anything, but it was just a phenomenal sight. So I thank you. We will holla, and yeah, man, stay yourself, be yourself, love yourself. We going ultra black. Come
That
on.
sounds like the end of a condom ad. Like that is such a you need to patent that shit or something. Not patent, like you need to
Wait
write
for
that
it.
down and send it to a marketing thing because that was a dope ending for like
Magnum condoms. Be yourself, stay yourself, love yourself. Wrap up. Well, actually, and sorry, now I'm being sorry to add this, guys. So I'm just being very stereotypical, and it's not healthy. But man, if I was Magnum condoms, what I would actually do is I would approach
what
Nas and be like, "Yo, Nas, you came up with some shit, man. Listen here, we want to do an
yeah.
advert with your song, and it's like we going ultra black, and the condoms goes bloop bloop bloop. We going ultra black. Magnum's just raining. Oh, Anyway, thank you so much for joining us this week. I hope you enjoy your bottle. I hope you enjoy your time with your lover, and I hope that everything, all the good energy
Did
comes
you
your
say
way.
I hope you enjoy your bottle or bottom?
No, bottle. Yeah, you need. I think it's time for you to go.
Yeah.
All right, now much love. Thanks for joining us, and we will holler. And to all the
I
viewers out there, see you next week, same time, and best believe with with the positivity that we learned today from Musa, we will overcome all the challenges. Peace out, y'all. Much love.